Hi,
Okay,
good afternoon, Ben. It's so great to speak with you.
you too.
Why don't we start with you just telling us a little bit about yourself and your career?
Yeah, my name's Ben. As you heard, Gulley's the last name, like a gully washer. I'm a tenor. As the older I get, I've actually recently we've been passing this around the campfire. I think I like the term storyteller a little bit more because if it's a really good story, I want to tell it, and whether that's in musical theater or opera or through recital or plays or movies or anything, that's kind of the way to tell a story. But yeah, that's why I make my career traveling around the planet and telling stories is what I like to say now.
I love that. Well, what are some of the highlights of your storytelling career?
Oh man, I've still got some big goals to accomplish, but recently, last year, a fun one. I'll say this was one of those hero moments in the biz. Was I got to come in and save the production of Rusalka there at Portland Opera last season. So that was pretty amazing. I had just gotten home. I actually think it was this chair. I was off for 2 weeks, and I had sat down like a movie, and I took that breath of relaxation, like I'm home for. Wait, my agent calls, and the next morning I was on a plane to you guys for wig fighting in the morning, and then dress rehearsal for like an audience of 1,500. So that was pretty amazing, and for me to get an opera that I hadn't sung in 4 years back in my brain within less than 24 hours was absolutely a rush. But doing it felt so good, and that cast was amazing, and fell in love with the community there. So can't wait to come back and be in Vancouver now.
Yes, it's going to be so wonderful to have you. So
Yeah.
you're going to be joining us for the festival in August. Do you have a lot of experience in your career performing at festivals?
Oh yeah, it's been a busy summer of that. I just toured West Virginia with Wheeling Symphony Orchestra a few weeks ago, and I've toured across the country a bunch of times. Whether I was, with one of the Sony American tenors back in the day, and I've definitely had my own share of solo national tours around the country. So outdoor festivals are some of my favorites. It's absolutely amazing. That energy. It's the true definition of synergy. You can always describe it, but it's nothing until you're there with all those people listening
You
to
feel
the.
like
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
performing outdoors is a sort of a different experience to performing within a hall?
Yes, I think I'm one of those. I think I'm of the new ilk of opera singers that are trying to thaw those lines of access, and I think when you're outside lounging under the stars, hearing some of the world's most beautiful music by some of the world's greatest artists, I think storytellers. I think it's a night bigger than you can even explain to your friends. So yeah, I'm totally biased, but I love outdoor concerts. I think there's something. I just last week I did at Bell's Brewery, Oberon Beer. If you know Bell's here in Kalamazoo, I did an event with the Kalamazoo Symphony, and just seeing 400 people having a great night at Bell's, drinking beer, listening to incredible music. Some of it was Bernstein even, and just hearing what that music can do to people, especially when they're getting to celebrate their community. That's one of the best parts too. So this one I can't wait to join and debut with y'all, especially with Maestro Schwarz. It's going to be incredible, amazing, and alongside one of my dear collaborators, Cecilia. I call her Cici López. She's absolutely one of the best sopranos out there, and we joke we've been falling in love since 2017 because we keep having to fall in love in every opera we do. We're gonna get to live. We'll get to survive for this production.
Yeah, we don't have to do the end,
No,
so you
exactly.
both make it through.
All the love for everybody.
Yeah, that tends to happen a lot with tenors and sopranos. Somebody's got to croak by the end, right?
Act one. That's why I tell everybody. If only every opera could just end at Act one, it would be we'd all go home so happy. And nope, it's those next two acts that are gonna come swinging for you. Yeah,
That's how opera tends to go.
that's fun. And symphony for that matter too, right? Yeah.
It's true. It tends toward tragedy pretty
Yep.
often,
Yep.
but we get to play some of the fun pieces from Bernstein on it's you're going to be joining us on Sunday the 4th
Yeah.
at in the afternoon concert.
Yeah.
So tell me which songs you are performing with us.
So this is one of Bernstein's. It's you've got a banger when you can write a suite from your show. So there's a lot of these symphonic overtures or suites that are out there of the best pieces. And so this is one of Bernstein's suites from West Side Story. So it starts with Maria, and we go into Tonight, and there's One Hand, One Heart, and basically it kind of touches all the solos that Tony and Maria have and kind of consummate that love that they tell over the whole opera. You're right, without the tragedy of the ending. So everyone would be leaving with their cheeks and cheeks hurting and their teeth showing. Definitely by the end of that duet. So it's about I think a 20-minute suite, maybe a little bit longer. I may be wrong, but it's absolutely gorgeous. And Maestro Leonard apparently had a good connection with Maestro Schwarz, so I
Hmm.
can't wait to siphon off that energy and that kind of that energy that we'll be feeling that night.
So, what is it about Bernstein that makes his music so special?
What a wide question, man! There's books for that. So the Gulley answer, as a nerd of Bernstein, as someone who's only known him through YouTube and through his words and his music, I think what makes him so special, he was before his time, but perfectly at where he was supposed to be at the same time. I think he would have been one of our generation of this thawing of the lines over what is high art and what represents high art and what should we be curating in our high art institutes, making
Hmm.
something new, being this classical cat under the tutelage of Copland who had to tell the American songbook on stage. He just had to because it wasn't, you know what I mean? Even though it was Rogue and how dare, but no, at the same time, we forget that Hammerstein and some of these greats were learning from Romberg and Lahar, and this is a tradition that's so beautiful. So I think what makes Bernstein so great is that he was this page turner, I think, in the community where, opera and the symphony were kind of seen as king. And he said, there's this other American art form that's totally different. It's hip. It's different than the movies. It's different than and I think he was able to settle something. And also that man just knew melody. And he was so alive himself that his music had to be alive. He wasn't going to, I always wish Bernstein would have written a march because I would have wondered what that sounded like. You know what I mean? What would a march have sounded like from Bernstein? Because I can't imagine that him getting caught in that kind of structure. But I think what makes him so special, yeah, the man knew how to find a melody too. I think I was doing some research on this just to remind myself, and it was cute to hear some of the scholars, cute, I say, uh, really, when he was working on the show with Robbins, that they were saying, how dare you have this augmented fourth? The Simpsons Maria, how dare you use this? No one's gonna sing along to this. No one's ever gonna know this song. No one's gonna want to. And you knew different. Yeah, Maestro knew.
Hmm.
We had a hit.
It's so true. It's so true. I have to ask, what do you think of the recent Spielberg adaptation of West Side Story?
I haven't gotten to watch it. My wife and I keep saying, let's watch it, but it's one of those, for whatever reason, we know the tale. So you got to prepare yourself for what's to come.
Hmm.
We just haven't swallowed that drink yet. But I've had friends who were part of it, actually, and said it was absolutely a life-changing experience and working with them. And I can only imagine it was up for so many awards. I know it came out in COVID, but I can only imagine what through the lens of Spielberg how he was able to tell that tale. So I heard nothing but great things, but I haven't got to see it yet. So whoops, maybe homework
Well,
before the fourth. Yeah.
sure, sure. Well, it certainly gets my endorsement for what it's worth. I
Oh,
highly
great.
recommend it.
Awesome.
Well, it's going to be such a delightful evening to have you and the rest of the incredible lineup on August 4th. Do you have any parting words for our audience to encourage them to join you?
Oh, please come and have the best time. And I've been saying this everywhere I go. You all have permission to have a great time and let us know that you're having a great time. So cheer, clap, scream, bravo, brava, bravi, all of it. Let us have a good time with us too. So I can't wait to see you all there.
Thanks so much, Ben, and I'll see you in August.
Thanks, Fred. Take care.